Self-managed super funds have been in the headlines and the RBA's sights for all the wrong reasons. The Reserve Bank's warned that speculative demand from DIY super could distort property prices. While $80 billion has been invested into real estate since rule changes in 2007, the industry says any bubble troubles more to do with record low rates than self-managed super. Phil Carey has been looking at the issue.
With auction clearance rates high and interest rates low, the talk is all about property, bubbles and booms.
So, congratulations!
And while there's no doubt that the amount invested by self-managed super funds has gone up in dollar terms in recent years, it seems the talk of a bubble driven by those funds may be overblown.
The growth that we're seeing in dollar terms is just a factor of the growth in self-managed super funds generally.
And when you look at the percentage allocation by self-managed funds to both commercial and residential real estate, the talk of a bubble does seem a little unrealistic.
We're seeing, as I said, a large number of inquiries, but a relatively few number of people actually going through with the strategy. And the number has been quite consistent over a number of years now. So the fact that the RBA have mentioned it at this particular point in time was a little bit of a surprise.
I had to read it 2 or 3 times and try and understand what the hell they were on about.
Tony Bates of Blue Point Consulting.
I don't think it's creating a bubble in the property market at all. I think the reason property prices are going up have nothing to do with self-managed super and have everything to do with low interest rates.
Even ANZ Bank CEO Phil Cronican says he's sceptical of any link between property overheating and self-managed super money.
I'm not sure that the self-managed super fund sector itself is big enough to lead to the housing bubble, but I do think that it's appropriate to sound a note of caution about having housing investment in self-managed super funds.
So while the note of caution raised by the RBA has left some scratching their heads, it also raises some broader issues that may need to be dealt with around who's offering what advice, especially to baby boomers who are running out of time to grow their investments and may be looking for a quick real estate fix.
There is an issue out there where there are spruikers talking up owning or borrowing money to put property in self-managed super. And I think there's some concerns around that.
There needs to be some focus on the licensing of the people who are giving advice. Now, they're not, as I understand it, financial planners who are accredited and authorised to give advice. These are people who are sort of on the fringe a little, and they need to be identified.
We do run the risk of people who are perhaps more at the naive end of the market putting things in there and exposing themselves to risks.
So there is a chorus of voices sounding a warning, but it's not pressure on price, but the quality of advice that seems to be the issue.